Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 504 Core podcast. The New Orleans Pelicans had the fourth spot in the West, but yesterday down big. I will say that down 21, Mike? There in the third quarter, made a nice comeback, but had a 5-point lead with 2 minutes left, and then just decided to jack up threes in transition for no absolute reason. And then couldn't get stops there defensively at the end. But, the Pelicans in a good spot. I'm going to let you go first before I say my piece. But the Pelicans in a good spot right now. Got a tough schedule coming up, but, if you could just win 6 out of 4, 6 out of 10, I think you'll be stay out of that playing game.
Yeah, no, I mean, the West is pretty jumbled up at the moment. We're shooting this at 10 o'clock on March 27th, but Denver's playing Phoenix. Aren't they down? Denver's down 7 right now, right?
I thought they were down 5, but they might be down 7. The Suns just hit a buzzer beater. I wasn't really paying attention at the end here. But, yeah, talking about Phoenix, they're hot and cold, but they're the worst fourth quarter team in the NBA by far.
Yeah, well, Denver seems to turn it on last second. Their last 5 minutes have got to be the best in the NBA. I mean, it seems like different. It seems like they're a different team. So, but no, I mean, the West is all jumbled up. It's pretty concerning. Pelicans not being able to close out another game last night. It just, I really don't get it. Just get the ball in Zion's hands. He had one possession in the last 5 minutes of the game. I mean, this really isn't that hard. If defense collapse on a dude, then just kick it out to Murphy or whoever else. Like, this isn't it. It really is not that difficult. So, but Pelicans have a brutal stretch. Probably the remaining 10 games or whatever it may be. So
the next 5 are at home, but they're all not contenders.
I'm at the point where the Pelicans, where being at home really doesn't matter. I think they're like a top 5 team on the road. So I wouldn't say we don't have a home court advantage because the crowd show up. They do their part, but it seemed like the team really doesn't. It really doesn't affect the team that much. They can say whatever they want, but they do have a really good road team. So, but no, they need to go at least 500 for them to stay outside of that. But the Clippers won by 1 today. Unfortunately, the West is all jumbled up. You just kind of need these teams to kind of cannibalize on themselves a little bit, and just win the game.
Hot too.
Yeah, the Mavs are starting to put it together. So, it's really difficult to try and forecast what the remaining of the season is going to look like for the NBA because you just never know. Hell, I mean, we just lost Brandon Ingram. So, I saw Dyson had 22-7 and 8 or 6 or whatever today in the G League. So I know it's the G League, but you should be getting Dyson back pretty soon. I think, if the Pelicans just kind of stay around the 500 mark, I think they'll be fine. But yeah, their main goal should just be stay out to play in at all costs.
Did you see that Josh Giddey shot to
which one?
Potentially go ahead of the Rockets on his back?
No. What happened?
I was just looking at because here we're keeping an eye out on the Thunder because the Nuggets are trying to get the 1 seed, and it looks like the Thunder lost in overtime to the Rockets.
Rockets are the hottest team in basketball right now.
They've won 10 in a row.
Yeah, no, they're putting it together. I mean, Sengun went out, and next thing you know, Jalen Green's playing like a superstar. So, the Rockets are coming. I know the Warriors won tonight as well. So, I mean, they're right on the Warriors' ass. They could be a play-in team, but yeah, it's kind of play itself out. I think, like I said, the West kind of is going to eat themselves up a little bit. A lot of these teams are going to play each other. Just the Pelicans just need to win these games at the end and just stay out the damn play-in.
All right.
And we'll be happy. So
you got the 2 seed in the East in the Bucks. Then you got the 1 seed and the best record in the NBA in the Celtics. Those 2 games are at home. The next 5 are at home. All right. And then you got 8 games in April. You got the Suns at home, which is massive on that Monday.
Yeah,
then
that's a playoff game.
Then you got the Magic on the at home as well, and the Spurs at home. You got to win those 3 games right there. You got to win those 3.
Yeah, they got to go at least 2 for 3. Spurs are. I wouldn't say Spurs are a gimme, but the Spurs are kind of a gimme. And then you got to
And
split
then you
between
got
Orlando and Phoenix.
I think you got to win all 3. And then you got the Suns on the road. And then you got the Trailblazers on the road. Trailblazers are horrible.
Terrible. Yeah, that's you got to win that. They
Play
don't care.
Kings. They play the Kings on the road. The Pelicans are 3-0 this season again. No, 4-0 against the Kings because you had the NBA playing season tournament. Pelicans are 4-0 against the Kings this season. So you got the Kings on the road again. That's a TNT game. Pels struggle on TNT games. Then
Pels
you got
struggle any national televised game. It's not good for the Pelicans for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Then you got the Warriors on the road. That's a hard place to win. And then you end the NBA season against the Lakers at home. So let's chalk this up, Mike. Bucks Pels Thursday. Who you got? Get your boy Doc Rivers.
Dude, Doc Rivers is wow.
I'm gonna give the Pels 1 out of the 2 between the Celtics and the Bucks. I'm gonna say they go 1-1.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think they will split it. I think they will drop a dud on one of these games. I mean, Bucks just played a double OT against the Lakers. Lillard looked really bad. He made that 3 to kind of towards the end, but other than that, he stunk it up.
So you got 1-1 right there. Then you have the
hopefully.
Suns, Magic, Spurs. You said 2-1.
Hopefully, I think 2-1. You can't scoff at that. So what's that? 3-2.
Yes, and then you got the Suns, Trailblazers, Kings, Warriors on the road. Do you split that? Do you say, hey, they beat the Blazers, Kings?
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta win. You gotta win 6 games. You gotta win 6 games.
And then you play the Lakers at home. You win that one. That's
Lakers Lakers will not care at all that game. LeBron, if the Lakers have a secured spot at the 9 seed and they can't get to 8, they're not going to care at all. They're going to sit LeBron. There's no doubt about it. They're going to rest their guys. So I know they're already doing that with LeBron now. So
that's 6-4.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that game could be relevant for both teams if both seeds are locked up. So but the Lakers, if the Lakers are solidified in one spot, there's a 100% chance they're not going to play LeBron and AD. I know that for a fact. So,
all right, now,
yeah, I mean, they have to win at least 6, at least.
So let me look at this, Mike. So you got the Mavs, Kings. Kings are home. And then you got the Mavericks, Rockets. Rockets are hottest team in NBA. And then the Mavericks play the Warriors, too. Jeez, 3 straight tough road games for Dallas. Then they have the Hawks and are at home against the Warriors. And then the Rockets again, Hornets, Heat on the road, Pistons, and then they play the Thunder on the road, which could be playing for a 2 or 3 seed for the Thunder. I could see 5 losses for Mavericks. Maybe 4. Maybe 4. I think depending on where the Heat are, because the Heat are bundled up. The Heat are on the road. See, that's a loss. The Thunder, I think this will come down. The 1 seed will come down to the last game, potentially, and definitely for a 2 or 3 seed. So the Thunder, I think we'll be playing. That's I think they lose to the Warriors and the Rockets on the road, and that's 6-4 for Dallas. I'm giving them the Kings on the road coming up.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just the West is so weird and tight that like every single night you're rooting for something different. Like you really don't know. Like you're rooting for one thing right now, but a week from now you could be like, oh, I wish I was rooting for that. Like it's so tight at the moment. Like I remember in our group chat, they were like, should we be rooting for the Kings or Mavs? And it's like, I guess you're just rooting for them to split. So there's really no clear cut answers. You probably won't know until later on. But yeah, those teams at the, 5, 6, 7, 8 spot, it's within a game and a half, 2 games of each other. So you're just rooting for them to lose. And then obviously they play each other. So you're basically, if you're the Pelicans, you control your own destiny. Just beat the teams you're supposed to be, and then hopefully go 500 against the other teams. So, but it is a brutal stretch. There's no doubt about it. It's just going to be interesting to see how they kind of plays itself out. They need BI back though. That's for sure. I don't know when you said the classic Pelicans reevaluated in 2 weeks. I mean, I don't know when the 2 weeks will be.
It could be right before the postseason, or he might not play round one.
Yeah. So, well, then it comes down to, okay, you're paying CJ McCollum $35 million. So you need to be that second guy, or Trey Murphy needs, both those guys would need to step up in a massive way. So, you're going to have to rely on those guys to be the stars that people proclaim them to be. So, yeah, no, it's Zion's got to be Zion, and you need guys to step up into a little bit higher roles. So,
This is Brandon Ingram's worst season statistically as a New Orleans Pelican.
See, it's weird because like a lot of national guys are like, oh, Brandon Ingram looks like he's different. It's like, I don't know. Like, is it like a more playmaking role, or is it like he's taking less shots? I don't really know. He's the kind of guy that doesn't like really regress because he is a hard worker. He's not like a guy you really have to worry about in the offseason coming in out of shape or whatever. So I think Borrego kind of changed things up in the offense, but
also this is the most games he's played as a Pelican.
Yeah. So no, you definitely want BI. Like, there's no doubt about it. Does it change the offense? Yeah, you're adding another ball dominant guy, but you definitely want as much firepower as possible. That's regardless. Like, you need Dyson back. You need Alvarado to come back. That hip injury he had last night, it seemed
concerning.
It seemed concerning, but everyone's reporting it's kind of insignificant. So, if they rest him tomorrow, so be it. But yeah, you need these guys to kind of trickle back in. Dyson just needs to come in a game or two and just play defense. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this team. But no, this postseason is kind of a big sign how to move forward with the franchise. So,
and I really think it's big for Brandon Ingram. He's a contract guy. You've seen the offense absolutely flourish with Zion when he's healthy on the court. Zion and Trey Murphy's plus minus rating is really, really insane. Need to see how Zion and BI kind of play with each other in the postseason. Can they be successful? Can they kind of take turns? You've shown a concern throughout the season if these two guys are compatible and they can play together. And I really feel like for CJ McCollum, for Brandon Ingram, for Zion, it's a huge, huge stretch, huge month.
So what I've kind of come to a conclusion of, actually, I don't know if it's even conclusion, but where I stand was like, I used to be like, oh, BI and Ingram can't play together. It's like, I don't know if it's so much that, or if I think it's more of the trio playing together. Because when you look at Zion and when Ingram's out, Zion and McCollum play really well. But when Zion's out, McCollum and BI play really well. And if McCollum's out, BI and Zion play really, like, 2 out of the 3 play well with each other, whatever combination you want to come up with. But once you start adding the trio, like their net ratings for those guys are terrible. Like, I know Willie Green wasn't even closing with McCollum, a week ago. So it's just that I think that speaks volumes. I think that because you got 3 ball dominant players and they're all considered stars, or at least like a lot of people talk to them like they're stars. So it's just the fit's kind of weird. I like to kind of see them kind of, if they're going to pick, between, if they pick 2 out of the 3, I kind of would like them to see like a point guard figure or like a center that can kind of, do different things. So, I mean, Valanciunas, I don't think he even played in the fourth quarter last night. So
he's been playing 15 minutes a game the last month.
Yeah, you can't have that from a guy who's supposed to be, 17 and 10 or whatever he's averaging.
I don't understand it, dude. He's way better than Larry Nance.
Well, Larry Nance just gives you versatility, and I think the thinking with like Larry Nance is like you're deferring the ball to different guys, so and you're
Yeah,
obviously getting more defense out of Nance, but like other than that, like who is the better player, Valanciunas? But yeah, like if Valanciunas doesn't have a good matchup, it's concerning. That's why like if we end up playing the Clippers or the Timberwolves, that's really good matchups for Valanciunas, like Gobert, a traditional center, and then you got Zubac, who's like a
yeah,
traditional center as well. So, but like once you start playing these guys, like I don't know if Cat will be back by then, but like that's going to cause fits for Valanciunas. So like once he gets out that paint, it gets a little more concerning. But
well,
yeah,
also, I don't think Willie Green trusts Jonas because you remember last year we beat the Oklahoma City Thunder if he keeps Valanciunas in the game. He was like
yeah,
10 for 10 from the field.
dude, Willie
But
Green is so frustrating. Like seems like he he starts to figure it out, and then next thing you know, like he has no idea. So like
yeah,
like he's got the rotations down, and then like you're just like sitting there wondering some games, you're like, what the hell is he doing? So I honestly don't get it. Is he a good coach? Yes. Could he be better? Absolutely. I think a lot of fans would agree on that, but it's just I don't understand where the disconnect is with his rotations, because there are some games where you leave so frustrated. But yeah, no, playing Nance the whole fourth quarter, like put Jonas in there, shake things up a little bit, give him a
yeah,
break. I don't know. I think the answers are very like clear cut. Like just like I said, Zion getting the ball one time in the last 5 minutes is
yeah,
inexcusable, and we're at the point where Willie Green's not closing out anything. So like you kind of have to learn from your mistakes at this point. So and I'm hoping they do. My dad was like, "Oh, it was a bad loss." Like, yeah, it's a bad loss, but you just got to learn from it. And that's where I'm at with Willie Green. It's just like, are you willing to learn from these mistakes? If not, then you're never going to grow as a coach. So
yeah.
we'll
I
see.
think he's grown this season now. I will say that.
What
Um,
you saying? What?
I think he has grown some
I
this
think he's
season.
grown too, but like it's baby steps. It's not like
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. He just there's times when you're just like, damn, dude, like come on, like everyone can kind of agree at certain points what's glaring, and he just doesn't do it. So yeah, like I said, these are growing pains. It's still a relatively young team, so just learn from your mistakes. That's all I'm gonna say for right now.
And then going back, let's go to the Pels, a different topic here. He's been telling me to save this for a week. Been letting it manifest a little bit because let's talk about the draft, right? The Pelicans would right now get the 14th pick in the NBA draft if everything stands. And I
Lakers pick, yeah.
know you're not very high on this draft, but in my opinion, I would take the Lakers pick. I would. Here's my reasons why. One, yes, LeBron's getting older and Anthony Davis is hurt. Yes, but the Lakers went to the Western Conference Finals last year. They won an NBA championship in the 2020s. They could make some moves because they're a desperate franchise and go get a Murray from the Hawks to go get another playmaker and be a top 6 seed in the West next year. It's totally reasonable. Do I think they will? No. I think it's too much of a risk not to take it. And I do believe that there are, like, I don't see much different from top 5 this year to players 10 through 20.
Hmm. Well, every single podcast I've listened to, NBA, everyone, executives, like they're all in agreement. Like this is one of the worst drafts in the last 10 years. So take that in consideration. I mean, I don't even know who the number one pick would be. They're saying this guy, Alexander Sarr, or whatever his name is, at center, but like there's no consensus number one overall pick. There's really no like consensus top five. So it's kind of all over the place. Like you're kind of saying, like the fifth pick could easily be the 15th pick, it seems like. So they're kind of comparing it to that Anthony Bennett draft. Ironically enough, Griffin took Anthony Bennett, but
Yeah.
no, I mean, if you got a crummy draft class, then just defer it to next year. So like what I would think is like you have a bad draft class, okay, and then just you still have your first round pick this year. Like you can still pick in the 20 something, whatever it may be. And then next year, the Lakers, Anthony Davis has missed 20 plus games pretty much every single year of his career except this year. So I don't think that's a coincidence, like that he's
But
just like
that's a risk,
randomly healthy.
Mike.
Yeah, it's a risk, but like I'd rather just roll the dice, not pay the tax. Well, I don't really care about the tax. I'm just thinking like Pelicans wise, but the Pelicans wise, like it's not my money, it's Gail's money. But Gail, they'd never pay the tax. So like if you're a GM, you're like, okay, well, we could wait another year, just pay it next year. And if you do pick at 14, like where's that guy going to sit in that rotation? Like Hawkins getting 3 minutes a game at this point. Like you're going to add another Hawkins to this roster that's not going to play. Like unless it's a center immediate impact guy, then like I don't see anyone even having playing room for this team. So I would just take it to next year's draft. Use your 2 picks next year draft, and then you also have the Bucks pick, which is top 4 protected. So, if I don't think that's going to land in there, but just gonna use it for next year's draft because next year's draft's supposed to be good. I know you were talking about Tristan da Silva. I really like that guy after watching him on Colorado. But if you want to expand more on that,
just going back onto what you're going to do with the guy. Trey Murphy didn't play his rookie year until the very end of the year. So Willie Green does not trust rookies to start with, but they start developing trust, right? Dyson Daniels, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado. You're going to get rid of Najee Marshall this offseason, I believe. So then if you go get a Tristan da Silva in the draft, I think he does have a role to play. I love Tristan da Silva from Colorado. He's 6'9", shoots about 40% from 3, can dribble, can be a playmaker, can pass, got vision, underrated defensively. He had some huge games. In the first round game against Boise State, Colorado couldn't score, and he had like 20-something points. Then he came up big against Florida when both teams scored 100, which is rare for college basketball. Then he had 15 points after after Colorado was down against Marquette in the round of 32. The guy can play. Go watch his highlights, right? He is perfect for the NBA. I would rather him than almost Cody Williams. Cody Williams is going to be a top 5 pick from Colorado, and
Cody Williams is gonna be a project. When I say project, I mean like he's gonna need time. Like he obviously, you watch him and he flashes. You're like, wow, this dude could be something. But like he's not gonna be a guy that's gonna come in and average 10, 12, 13 points a game. So no, I agree with you. Tristan da Silva is probably one of the more pro ready guys. When you were like, oh, we should take him with the 14th pick, I thought it was kind of ludicrous. But because I was looking at mocks, he was going like in the 20s and 30s. But no, I mean, he shot up boards after these 2 or 3 games in the March Madness. So I know Draft Express, Jonathan Gavoni, he put him at 18. So I mean, if he did have the 14th pick and he's sitting there, he's one of the more pro ready guys. I'd love the pick. Kind of fits the profile of the wings that the Pelicans do have. Long wings. You're just adding another guy into that. So I like him because he can shoot too. He's not like a long wing who can't shoot. So I think he's shooting like 38, 39% from 3. So he's no slouch from that. So he's kind of like a mix between like Nance and Murphy. Like he's not quite the shooter as Murphy, but like but he's not a bad shooter, but he possesses a lot of things what Nance does. He can handle the ball well. So I really like him. I didn't really catch a drift till you said it. And then I started watching him and doing research, and I really do like the guy. So he is an older prospect. We talked about it last podcast. Like the Pelicans do like taking these older guys. So, I mean, Marshall, Alvarado, like they do have some older guys they've taken in the draft. So I'd really like it. But yeah, kind of going back to the thing, we'll see if they keep the 14th pick. I mean, they could luck out and somehow get top 4 in the lottery. So I don't think it'll happen, but you never know.
If you get top 4, you trade that pick.
So you wouldn't even take like a Reed Shepherd or like Dillingham or anything like that.
I think you keep maybe.
So you keep it at 14, you trade it at top 4. But the problem is like, what are you trading it for?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I would shop it.
I don't see. That's the thing though. Like every single person that I've listened to, like just like insiders, like just basketball knowledge, Bill Simmons, like all these guys are like, this draft is not very good.
Yeah.
So like the value of like let's say they lucked out and got like the third or fourth pick, and that I don't think the value of that would be like crazy. I think if you package that with like that or other first round pick and like maybe one of our guys, you could get something real. But I don't really know who's be willing to come up and take that pick for something real valuable unless they're trying to offload someone. So I'm not sure, but I mean, there's a lot of basketball, a lot of time that can happen in the next. I think the lottery is like May
Yeah.
12th or something like that. So there's
Uh-huh.
going to be a lot of time. That's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the next month and a half. So,
Absolutely.
but it's exciting just to think about it. So, and if you really think about like the Pelicans' future, it's really
It's
exciting.
bright. It's bright. So
It's
it
bright.
should
I
be.
don't know if it's the brightest in the league, but it's top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I would say the Thunder are probably a little bit brighter.
Dude, the Thunder still have like 20 something
I
draft
know.
picks. Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
And they hit on Chet and they hit on obviously SGA and Josh Giddey. I know he likes underage girls, but I mean he's a hit. They've how good the Pelicans have been at drafting. OKC has been better, and Sam's incredible because he did the same thing with Harden, KD, Westbrook.
Well, I love Presti because he didn't pander to these fans that were like,
Yeah,
"Oh, let's win now so we get bounced out in the play-in," or whatever the hell like
yeah,
fans clamor for. So like he was always like, "No, we're just gonna suck for 5 years and we're just gonna accumulate stuff. We're gonna pick up stars here and there." So I was kind of telling my dad this. I was like you take a superstar, like you draft Davis, you got 7 years. You got his first 4 years on his rookie contract, and then you
uh,
got 3 years after that, and then like that fourth year, he's gonna ask for a trade if you don't have built anything substantial around him. And then like you basically just keep cashing and you basically just keep cashing in these assets that they hit. So
yeah,
no, the Thunder have done it right. They just laid back for 5 years, sucked it up, and then yeah, they're really, really bright. So I mean, they just need a center at this point, but they'll be fine.
yeah. What else you want to talk about?
You want to talk a little March Madness?
Yeah. I mean, no upsets in the round of 32 really, besides what Clemson over Baylor. But um, I love Jay Wright. Right, he's the analyst now on CBS. He was the coach at Villanova. Won 2 national championships in 3 years of Villanova. And he made a really good point, Mike, about Kentucky and Coach Cal. And he says with NIL and a lot of guys staying 5 years, 4 years, college basketball, it's almost impossible to win with the one and done players now.
It is impossible. Like unless you have like an Anthony Davis, like Calipari had, where he just dragged him across the finish line. Like you're gonna he's gonna have a very hard time. I think I even saw in like the post game conference, they were like, he was like, "You're gonna change your ways." He's like, "No." So it's just like
Yeah.
I did. I don't know. The problem is it's like if you fire Cal, like who are you getting? Like are you getting Jay Wright? I mean, I don't know who you would get. So
Rick Pitino,
um, Rick Pitino, where is he at? Is he at St. Mary's? Where is he at?
Johns,
St.
and
John.
they
St.
were
John.
horrible. They almost made the tournament this year. It's a miracle.
Yeah. No, I mean Calipari, he's got the flash, got the pizzazz, but I saw that he's coming back for a year. I don't know. I just
He's
don't
got a
know.
lifelong contract at Kentucky.
Yeah, I just don't know like who you'd get. It's just like the lifelong question of like, oh, we got to fire this coach, and it's like, okay, who
Yeah.
who are we snagging? So, um, no, I guess just give him a year. But I mean, the Kentucky, Alabama's, the LSU's, like you don't have a very long leash for mediocrity. So, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Calipari kind of has to change his thing because before it was always one and done, but yeah, NIL's kind of flipped the script, and you kind of seeing a lot of
Older.
Hall of Fame coaches just kind of go by the wayside, and
Yeah.
college football, college basketball, everything. So, things are changing. So it's either adapt or you get fired. But yeah,
100%.
but it's not the worst thing in the world being a fired SEC coach in any sport.
No. Look at
Might be the number one thing in the world, being a fired SEC coach. Get paid $40 million to sit on your ass. So
exactly.
not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I feel like it's Purdue's year. They got through. They killed two teams to get to the Sweet 16, and I made this point, and everybody's like, "Oh, Purdue always chokes." Yeah, Villanova always choked every single year before they won a national title. Virginia choked every single year before they won. They lost to 16 seed, and Baltimore County, Maryland Labrador Retrievers, right? School I've never heard of and knew existed. They lost to them. I feel like Purdue is kind of the same way. They got veteran guys and they're older, and I think they're in a good position to make a deep run. Obviously, I love UConn's program. Dan Hurley's done a great job there. North Carolina's dangerous. I feel like Houston's going to be the first one seed to fall. Offensively, they struggle at times. Yeah, that's my take on the rest of March Madness.
When does Purdue play again? Friday?
I believe so.
So you got Purdue and who else?
I got Purdue versus North Carolina, but I got UConn also. I got 3 1 seeds. I had a lot of upsets, 3 1 seeds, and I was a dumbass and thought Kentucky could get hot and get to the Final Four. But
I mean, we all said it a couple podcasts ago. We were all talking about Reed Sheppard and Dillingham, but yeah, I mean, that guy for Oakland, if he doesn't hit, 100 threes that game, Kentucky probably wins that game. Kentucky played terrible. I mean, Reed Sheppard threw the ball away like 10 times. Like I've never seen worse passes. I swear he was working with. I swear he was working with Otani last game. Like it was so bad. Like it was just. I was watching him like, what the hell is this? And he's like, it's supposed to be a top 5 pick. I'm like, okay, so no, they played terrible. So it is what it is. Basketball is impossible to bet, but
March Madness, man, most unpredictable tournament there is. Dude,
for sure.
Otani. You want to talk about Otani for a little bit?
Dude, I don't get it. You're signing what, like a $100 billion contract, and you're gonna bet $4 million on something stupid? Like, bro, what are you doing? So I don't know.
Is he Pete Rose?
Like, what do you mean? Like not getting the Hall of Fame because of this? I mean, I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame player yet, but he's on a trajectory for it.
I mean, he's won 2 MVPs. I don't look. I'm not going to say anything just yet because I don't have all the information, and I don't want to.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate. So I'm gonna wait to give my piece on him, but it is very fishy.
No, I mean, just to lose like $4 million, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I try. I just see it all over Twitter. Like people, the memes have been great. I love it. I mean, it really, the internet really is undefeated. But, yeah, I don't really know much about it. But I mean, I guess this is the biggest sports story. It seems like every like 72 hours, there's just something crazier that comes out, like Otani, and then you got P Diddy, P Diddy with the kids, and then the NFL, and it's just like everything. There's just like something crazy that comes out every 72 hours. So, I mean, we're in a crazy world. I guess just keep the content coming so we have more shit to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah. Do we want to? Do you want me to go on a rant about the NFL, or do you want me?
No, we'll keep it basketball and gambling. Are there any bets that you like this week?
Nuggets over Timberwolves.
NBA, huh?
Yeah, Nuggets over Wolves on Friday.
When is that? Friday. Let's see. What is that spread?
It's the Nuggets are a favorite. Oh man.
Damn, dude, Timberwolves are 1 game back from the Nuggets. That's pretty good. Yeah. I didn't realize they had that good of a record.
Well, the Nuggets were like 5 games back of the Timberwolves at the All-Star break. Dude, the Nuggets are 15-2 since the All-Star break.
Yeah, there's a few NBA teams that have just they've gotten so hot. I mean, the national media is blowing up the Pelicans now. Now they're doing the Rockets. I didn't even realize the Nuggets were 15-2. I guess they were just like champions, and it's just kind of like an understood thing with them. But I had no idea.
Yeah.
How is Denver like? Are they just like buzzing right now with the?
Yeah, I mean they got the Avs are 1 point away from being a 1 seed in the Western Conference in the NHL.
Yeah, I saw that last night. The Stars are pretty damn good.
Yeah, Avs and the Stars are right there, so it could be a playoff series. But I mean, for the first time since Magic Johnson and Wayne Gretzky, they could have a NBA MVP and NHL Hart Trophy. With
And
Nate,
then
who,
Is
yeah,
Colorado football gaining buzz yet? I mean, I
yeah,
know Dion says some dumb shit in the media a good bit. He's going to
yeah,
pull an Eli with two of his players, which I thought was insane. But I mean, that Colorado's got to be kind of picking up a little bit, huh?
yeah, they are. But the thing about them is it's going to be a wait and see this year after all the hype at the beginning of next year.
Well, the problem with Dion, he doesn't get many recruits, so he's doing
No, he
everything
doesn't
transfer
recruit high school.
portal.
Yeah, which is not
Not
successful.
sustainable.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're
that,
basically you're on a 1-year lease every single year. So
yeah,
I don't know how sustainable that is, but
not.
we'll see. It's a big today. It's gonna be a big test because I mean, I guess Dion kind of figures like once Shador leaves, he's gonna be like, okay, well, I'm kind of a free agent. If he has success, he might be thinking I'm kind of a free agent now. So, I mean,
Yeah,
there's college jobs, NFL jobs, there's jobs open up all the time. So, it's a big year for Colorado. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's in store for them.
yeah, absolutely. And then the Broncos love JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Um,
What are you hearing like
they're going to
regarding that?
to 4 with Arizona.
They're going to trade it. That's a rumor. That's what they're
Yeah,
saying.
but
Bro, that's insane.
Minnesota's trying to do the same.
Just for McCarthy?
Yes, both of them want McCarthy.
This is awesome. Dude, I hope so.
The first 4 picks are going to be quarterbacks potentially.
That is amazing. I could see I could see the Chargers trading back too. If one of those
Yeah,
quarterbacks slide, I could easily see the Chargers trading back.
yeah,
Because there's a ton of receivers in this draft class. Like everyone's like, oh, get Neighbors or Harrison. It's like you could, or you could also grab an extra first round pick and grab, you know,
the kid
whoever.
from South Carolina, Weaver.
Get who?
The kid from South Carolina.
A Leggett.
Yeah,
I'm a big Leggett guy. I think he'll be really good. No, I mean, yeah, the Chargers, dude, that's crazy. Dude, that is crazy. I really hope Bo Nix goes before the Saints too. If 5 quarterbacks go before the Saints pick, dude, the Saints are gonna get like a really, really good player. I think the Saints will get a really, really good player anyway. But like, if like a Fashanu or Brock Bowers or
yeah,
like one of those guys, like even Dallas Turner, like dude, they're gonna get amazing value at 14. So I really hope it happens. I think 4. It sounds like 4 quarterbacks are going to go before, which is pretty amazing. But I can't
yeah.
believe why is Peyton so high on McCarthy? Is it like intangibles or is
Yeah,
it
all
just
right. So he loves him. First of all, leadership. I think he's a good leader. Um, he can move around the pocket. He's shown good awareness. And when the pressures come, he hasn't been frazzled because of the pressure, and he's delivered a good ball. He believes he's accurate. He understands defenses, is able to get the ball out quickly. He's able to read defenses precisely. And he just wants somebody to be able to run his offense, right? Be 1, 2, 3, throw to the open guy, right? He doesn't want Russell Wilson, a guy like that, just to run around and take sacks and get turnovers. He wants a precise, smart quarterback, and he believes McCarthy is that.
I mean, he is a winner. I'm not the biggest McCarthy guy. It's crazy because like most guys aren't McCarthy people.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy. There's definitely a disconnect between like a lot of
fans.
the media, a lot of fans, media, and then like NFL front offices. So Um, yeah, I mean, his resume is pretty much spoken for. What is he, 27-1? So he is a winner,
Yeah,
national champion. So he does have a good bit of accolades to go with it. But yeah, we'll see. How big is he? Was he like 6'2", 6'3"?
I'll tell you right now.
I think he's like 6'2".
I also, you ever seen his dad?
Mm-mm.
Look up his dad slapping his girlfriend's ass.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I saw that.
He's 6'3".
So he's probably 6'2".
Prototypical.
He doesn't seem that big though.
No,
He seems like a 6'1" kind of.
Yeah, 100%. But he's 6'3".
Yeah, I don't know. They said he had a good pro day too.
Yeah, no, and the Broncos didn't go to his pro day, but they had a private workout with him the next day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like they've pretty much turned the keys over to Peyton. So
yeah, whatever he wants now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but that's strictly a boom or bust situation. So you've seen it go right and wrong. I don't, have you really seen it go right in the NFL where you just give 100% power to coaches?
Belichick for about 12 years.
But did Belichick have like the reins for 12?
He was the GM and head coach.
But I mean, the last 4 years, it was pretty dreadful.
But you could say that, but then you can also say he won 6 Super Bowls.
The Belichick argument's really hard because, like, you got Brady, who's considered the greatest player of all time, and then you got Belichick. And as soon as I'm not saying Belichick's not a bad coach. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying, but like, as soon as Brady left, like, look what he did. It wasn't pretty. So
yeah,
obviously, no coach is like going out there and going to lose with bad or win with bad players. But I wouldn't say I don't know, but like I saw you saw Bill O'Brien with the Texans get all that. He was a GM and coach, and look what happened. So, like I said, it's boom or bust. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I've always liked Sean Payton. Can't really hate on him. I hope he's successful. I just hope it's just not against the Saints if we ever do play him again. So, we'll see.
I agree, bro. I agree. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. We covered a good bit, but yeah, no, we'll get into the NFL more coming up with the draft. We'll probably have like a little draft special, and then we'll have your buddy come on.
Next week.
Yeah, we'll get into it. So sounds good.
All right, thank you guys. Like, subscribe, and follow. If you don't follow,
He'll find you.
Yeah.
just this quiet.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everyone.